Hello there, beautiful beloved. What would you say your personality type is? Do you like things neat and organized? Are you a project and checklist kind of gal? Maybe you're the social butterfly and expert, or you're a go-getter like me. I really love how each of us are so unique and different. We are made intentionally by God, and our varied personalities reflect this. Despite our differences in preference and expression, I know as women, we may just have a tendency to overwork, overschedule, and fall into overwhelm. And that is why today I want us to overcome and realize what it means to rise up and rest. Are you ready to slow it down and take a breather with Jesus? I know I am.
Here at Get Lifespiration, our mission is to inspire, encourage, and motivate you to rise up and choose to live your God-given purpose daily, just like the Proverbs 31 woman of valor. Be strong and of good courage. The Lord your God is with you.
In the Psalms, there is a word repeated over and over again. Selah. Selah was written to allow the reader, the singer, or the listener to pause and contemplate. Listen here to Psalm 32, verse 7. You are my hiding place. You shall preserve me from trouble. You shall surround me with songs of deliverance. Selah. What powerful words of blessing and praise. How can one rush through these? I find the pause helps me to reflect on what I just heard. And what does this mean to me? How do I feel about this worshipful statement? How does it change my heart towards God? How many times in your day do you take a time of Selah when you pause and reflect on what God is trying to tell you and let go of the to-do list? As a young mom, I often fall into the I can do it all mentality. I can work my full-time teaching job, take care of my children, volunteer at church, grow spiritually, and have a social life. Yeah, right. Before our first COVID lockdown, my life was overscheduled like I'm sure it was for many of you. The rush from work to cooking and getting dinner on the table, the hustle to get my son to a hockey practice, then whoa, it's bedtime boys, story time, and snuggles. Finally, I get to chill out in my room, read a book, or watch some TV for a bit. Then it's rise, rinse, and repeat the following day. This is not a day with pause. This is not taking time to rest. Then, bam, suddenly we found ourselves hanging out in our homes all the time. No more commute to work. No more sports in the evenings. You would think I would be bored? But no, I felt like I could breathe. I had found a moment of Selah, a time to pause, reflect, and contemplate what God wanted to do instead of what I wanted to do with my time. God has made rest for us, and He reveals this to us from the very beginning of creation. First, we see in Genesis 2 how God rested on the seventh day from all the work He had done. And in Matthew 2:27, we hear how Jesus challenges the Pharisees who had made resting on the Sabbath a chore and a half with all their rules. And Jesus said to them, the Sabbath was made for man and not man for the Sabbath. God set an example of rest because He made us with the need to rest. We cannot fill every day and every weekend with activities without taking the time to restore. Rest is so important that God even mandated a whole year of rest every 7 years. And this Sabbath year was called Shemitah, or literally to release. Even more interesting is that based on the Jewish calendar, this September 2021 to September 2022 is designated as a Shemitah year. Boy, would I love to have a Shemitah year every 7 years. I'm not sure how you're feeling right now, But if you're feeling overwhelmed, I want you to realize that there is a way to find rest in your life right now. And I want to share one of my favorite verses with you. You probably already know it, but it never gets old. Matthew chapter 11, verses 28 and 30. Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Selah. Remember, we have been made with the need to rest. Jesus understands this and he calls to us. We can try to relax and have me time in a bubble bath, have a spa day, and I'm sure it will feel good, but when we are burdened, only Jesus can give us true rest. When we go to Jesus for his rest, it's not about doing nothing either. He asks us to do something. We're to take on his yoke. Jesus uses farming analogies because that's what the people knew at the time. Well, for us city folk, a yoke is traditionally put on pairs of oxen so they can pull a load when working together. When we take on the yoke Jesus is offering us, he is saying we are being paired with him. We get to pull the load with him. He wants us to work with him, and his promise is that when we choose his yoke, the burden is easy and light. So who ends up doing most of the work, I wonder? Sunday school answer, ladies? Jesus. When we choose to partner with Jesus in our exhaustion and our overwhelm, he helps us pull the load. We can take a pause and breathe and catch our breath because we know Jesus will catch the rest. Jesus doesn't demand our partnership. In fact, he is completely gentle and humble and willing to take on our burdens the same way he took on our sins. His quiet, unassuming grace allows us to lean on him when we cannot take one more step. When we are exhausted, it is more than a physical thing. Our minds, our hearts, even our souls can become overcome by fatigue and burdens. However, Jesus promises rest for our souls. This rest goes deeper than a 1-week, all-inclusive vacation. No amount of 3-day weekends can compete with the ultimate rest Jesus offers. What we need to do is choose to find our pause. Selah. Honor God and rest with the day of Sabbath. In addition, take on the partnership that Jesus is calling us to. When we walk with Jesus, we can truly overcome the weight of overwhelm and choose to rise up into the rest he is so quietly and humbly offering us. Thanks so much for listening. I hope this blessed you, and we'll see you soon.